Hey, Friendpreneurs. Welcome to another episode of Friendpreneur Fiyah podcast Unbound. Greetings. I'm Tiffany Bargeman, CEO, founder, and visionary of Friendpreneurship LLC. And we build community by connecting entrepreneurs through targeted networking and live storytelling events so they can succeed in business. This is important because we, as entrepreneurs, we need to learn from one another. We need to leverage knowledge, and this community is all about that. I am your host for the evening of this Friendpreneur Fiyah podcast, Unbound. I'm your friendly entrepreneur, unafraid to bring others along for success. This podcast is a storytelling platform for entrepreneurs to express their why so people may buy. Because in the famous words of Simon Sinek, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. I wholeheartedly agree. And I am excited to be able to provide a platform for entrepreneurs to do just that. So, as you know, we like to recognize our sponsors at the top of our podcast. And we have a BFF member of our Friendpreneur fam. And you've seen this before. If you follow this podcast, Touch of Sam is a full service spa boutique. My personal masseuse, and I highly recommend this spa boutique if you need a massage, if you need skincare, body rituals, med spa services. This is the place to go. She is located in Raleigh, North Carolina, right off Millbrook Road. And Sam has wonderful hands. I'll just leave it there. You can reach her at www.touchofsam.com. All right. So, as you know, we have a very special guest tonight. I have been publicizing this for about a week now, and I'm excited to tell you about our guest. Erica Green. Dr. Erica Green is a CEO and publisher, and she is the founder of SHERO Enterprises. Just happens to be our guest tonight. She is also a member of the Friendpreneur fam, a new BFF VIP member. I'm excited because she's also a wonderful mentor who, when she says, I want to support you, she actually does that. So this community is a paid community where entrepreneurs enjoy building meaningful relationships with like-minded visionaries and conquering roadblocks in one-on-one small business working sessions and promoting their visions and their brands on a regular basis through loyalty rewards program. And in her 1-year Friendpreneurship fellowship, Dr. Green is going to avail herself to the Friendpreneur fam. We have other members at the associate, friendly, friendlier, and friendliest levels. And she is going to make sure that they have the support they need. I want to thank her when she gets here because I'm just one person and I can't do it myself, all by myself. So we need a community of Friendpreneur fellows like her to share in this mentorship. So in exchange for her selfless contributions to the growth of this small business support community, Friendpreneurship is going to relentlessly promote her brand. And this will be through unique storytelling, and the infinite audience that we can do this in front of is very important because social media allows us a platform to reach so many. So the brand awareness that she'll get in exchange for her selflessness is unmeasured. I would like to welcome Dr. Green to the stage. Welcome, Dr. Green.
Hello, Tiffany. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here tonight. And I was getting so excited as I listened to all of the benefits of being in the Friendpreneurship family. And, while there are benefits to it, I think it's all about giving back and serving and locking arms as entrepreneurs. So I'm so excited to be here.
Yes. And you mean that when you say it. Now, let me just tell everybody just a little tiny little personal testimony when it comes to mentorship and taking advantage of relationship building. I would have to give you all the props and all the kudos because you saw Friendpreneurship and you said, hey, how can I support you? And you didn't just say it, you did it. A lot of people just give you lip service and you never hear from them again, but you poured yourself into Friendpreneurship just by exemplifying it. And that means the world to me. So I appreciate you and I cannot wait to hug your neck.
Oh,
So
same
just to give
here.
you my here.
And kudos to you and everything that you're doing. Your vision is just so impactful. And the fact that you are helping to lift all of us as entrepreneurs together collectively. I just want to give kudos to you. And it's probably not said enough that your vision is so powerful. The lives that you're touching around the world is infinite. And we're so excited to be a part of it. So anything I can do to help you, always here.
And you have. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll talk more about that too. All right, so please tell us about yourself. We want to get a little background and just understand who you are and why you do what you do.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Erica Perry Green. I reside here in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, and I have been a split between corporate America and entrepreneurship for over 25 years. I was in corporate America as an executive in the sales arena for 25 years, while also building a brand to support women. SHERO Publishing and now SHERO Enterprises. So I've always had a heart to reach back and help women to have success. If there's something that's burning inside of them that they want to unleash, it's always good to have help to kind of guide you throughout that entrepreneurial journey. And that's exactly what my mission's been actually for the last 8 years since we launched the SHERO brand, and it's continued to grow. And now we have SHERO Publishing and SHERO Consulting, where we are helping women and men, everyone, to really see the power of your stories, leverage your stories to grow your brands, whether it is an entrepreneurial brand or you're growing your brand on a professional arena. We can help you to kind of leverage that story to accelerate and reach your goals.
I wish I was counting how many times you said the word help, because that is it's like the foundation of friendpreneurship. And when I ask you this, I just want to hear from your perspective how you would define friendpreneurship to someone who asks you on the street. What is friendpreneurship to you?
Yeah, I love that. It's servant leadership, it's mentorship, it's reaching back and helping each and every entrepreneur. I love it because it's a community that's serving each other. So as we learn and as we grow as entrepreneurs, then we're able to share that information, our resources, our tools with the next group of entrepreneurs and help everybody to win. So it's collectively we're winning together, and then we're cheering each other on. So I love the fact that it's not just mentorship, but you're building a community of winning business owners who are collectively winning together.
Yes. Together. That's another key word. We grow with the flow together. So we help one another and we grow with the flow together. So yes, we have a lot in common when it comes to helping others who are entrepreneurs. So I want to give a little bit of history before we start talking about the power of storytelling in business, which is why we're here. Let's go back a little bit to 2022 when I launched my first business. It was called Grand Concierge. That was a social media management company, because I felt like, okay, online, I can tell people about good things and reach a lot of people at one time. So yeah, I'm gonna start there. And I did. I was genuinely curious about why people did what they did, why entrepreneurs did what they did. So as I was networking and building relationships, I started learning, oh, it's not just about the earrings. Speaking of which, I've got these at African American Festival recently. I need to find a card and shout her out. Aren't they pretty? It's not just about the earrings that person is selling at the vending booth on the street. It's not. There is a reason that she's doing that, and her story matters. So whenever I would meet people and I would ask them, why do you do what you do? I was more and more intrigued, and I started this IG chat, this live IG chat, called it Friendpreneur Friday. And we just talked about why, So it just grew in me, this need, and people may think I'm nosy, she asked so many questions, but that's okay, because I really genuinely want to know. It feeds my soul, and I feel closer to that entrepreneur once I know why they do what they do. I'm more apt to support them. So when it comes to the power of storytelling, how important is it that business owners know how to tell their story, or a story that's going to make a connection when they are doing business?
Absolutely. I think it's very important. Your story is your journey and it connects you with your clients and your customers. And I think they need to know how to tell their story. And one of the unique things that happens with all of my clients is as we're dissecting their story, we also reveal how they got to their business, because you were just saying, I'm asking everybody, how did you get to this business? Why are you doing this? A lot of times it's because of something they have a passion about, something that's happened in their lives that ignited that passion and that joy, and they've created a business out of it, whether they love cooking or they love to be around the youth, or they love to help people as a counselor or a coach. As you tell your story, you start to reveal that expertise, and people start to see you now as an expert and an authority in whatever you do, but you also make a connection with them. See, business is about relationships and connections. So the first thing you got to do is to bring those walls down, those barriers, and make a connection. And you've got to do that quickly, because on social media, you might have 30 to 50 seconds to really draw someone in. And the power of your stories can draw them in and help them to connect with you, because we all have commonalities. We all have things that we've been through along our journey that someone else can say, oh, she gets me. She knows exactly what I've been going through. I want to work with her. So it's really about the authenticity of it. It's the transparency of sharing your story that really helps to bring in the clients, not only clients, but the clients that you're called to, the clients that you need to serve.
Well, then, speaking of the clients that you need to serve, when people see something that you are posting, an ad, or if a conversation that you've had is, telling them about what you do, what is the moment that you recognize them as a potential client?
Oh, that's good. That's good. I do a ton of consultations a day, like a lot. And my team, they're really good at the marketing piece and kind of bringing everybody in. But the first thing I will tell everybody as a business owner is you have the right to choose who you work with and who you serve. You don't have to serve everyone. And so you're looking for people that are, number one, aligned with your vision and your mission of your business. So you want to make sure that their goals, their aspirations, them as a customer really aligns with who you want to serve and the mission of your company. I do refer a lot of people to other business owners that I know, other vendors that I know. But I always know when it is someone, man or woman, who's driven, who has a powerful story, or they are in corporate America and they're saying, hey, I know there's more for me, but I've got to figure out a blueprint, and they need help growing their consultation or their coaching business or building their brand. I know exactly why they picked up the phone and called me, and I know exactly how to help them. So, I challenge entrepreneurs that, use your leverage, decide and carve out who your clients are going to be, the ones that bring you joy, the ones that you get excited about serving. And then those are the ones that you're saying yes to. And the others, you're going to help them find a resource. But, business is not all about money. It's about serving the right clients. The money will come.
Yeah. And you said the word help again, because yes, they may not be your client, but you have a circle and you can refer them to someone who can help them, meet them where
And
they
that's
are.
the power of friendpreneurship. We've got a whole lot of friendpreneurs that we can refer to. If they're a client that should be with someone else, you want to put them with the right person.
Yes. And the best part is it's a trusted community. I love that. For example, I met you through Kimberly Winborn. I met you through her, went to the summer brunch that she had. I guess it was last summer. It's been so long since I've been going to her things, but I think it was last summer. And you were talking about SHERO Publishing. So I thought, okay, good. I can trust this person, because anybody that Kimberly surrounds herself with, I know she trusts them. She's not going to put anybody in her circle that she doesn't trust. And so I know I can trust you. And I thought, wow, when you did call me and say, how can I support you? I thought, this is from the Lord. First of all, she means it. Second of all, I can trust her. I already know it. And I trust you, Lord. So thank you. But I know that Friendpreneurship, just like SHERO Publishing, is about trust. It is about relationships. It is about help. So yes, we share all of that in common.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Now I want to ask you about, and you don't have to be too specific if you don't want to be, but when it comes to clients wanting to share their story, everybody doesn't know how to articulate, which is why you help in this area. But have you ever come across a client who wanted to tell a story, but there was there were bits and pieces of it that they didn't feel ready to share, but maybe you were able to, direct them in a way to tell the story so that they felt comfortable with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, every week. Um, especially when you're telling your autobiographical story and you're going back on your journey, there are layers of everyone's journey that can be hard. And I tell
Mhm.
everybody, make sure you have some tissue, because as you write and you start to peel back the layers of what you've been through and what you've overcome and what God brought you through, there will be times that it's going to be tough to share that.
Mhm.
But the most freeing chapters and parts of their stories are the difficult ones to share. And so, our company is so different than a lot of other publishing and consulting firms in that we help them write their manuscript. So we actually help them to get that story out on coaching calls, and then we're helping them build their manuscript. So they're not alone in that process, but we help them kind of pull that out. And absolutely, it can be hard. I have some authors that'll stay up late at night and they're saying, wow, I didn't know this was going to take me back there. But sometimes God has to take you back there to really allow you to see where he's brought you from. And so it's necessary for you to go through that thing so that
Yeah.
you're ready and in position to serve those he's calling you to serve. So,
Yeah.
I think it's just part of the process. I have two coaching clients right now. We're building out their coaching brand. And one of them just told me, she said, I thought I was just coming to write a book. I didn't know I was going through therapy, but it
Therapy.
is. It can be therapy. It
Yes.
really can, because you're releasing some stuff you didn't even know you were holding on to. You're recalling things you didn't even know you weren't over, or God is bringing something back to your recollection as you're
Mhm.
writing. And all of that is therapy. And a lot of people will say, keep a journal with you, write down what God is giving you. And sometimes he does that through the writing process. And so I love the fact that we have very skilled ghostwriters and book coaches who are holding your hand and helping you to get that out, but in a very supportive way, so that you're
Mhm.
not alone in that process and you've got encouragement. And we even have therapists that we work with some of our coaching groups, because we want to make sure, depending on the topic and what that group is talking about, that we have support if they need support from a mental health aspect as well.
Yeah, that's interesting because I'm sure that was an evolution of things. When you first started the publishing company, I bet you didn't have therapists on tap, did you?
I didn't have a lot on tap when I first started. We were talking about this earlier, so I'm just going to let them know. So we were talking about, when you first start a business, when you first start anything, it is God in a prayer, and you're stepping out and it's just you. But
Mhm.
he always sends the resources. And Tiffany, we were just kind of laughing about this, because you start out and you have a vision and it's one person. And as that thing starts to grow, you see what you need, and then those resources just come.
Yeah.
So it's funny, because I had a compilation and we had therapists in the compilation, and we realized, hey, we need you guys. So now we have access to them for any of our authors that really need that additional support, which I think is very important, that, holistically, as we're going on this journey with them to write their book, or if they're building a brand in 90 days, I want to make sure we're fully supporting them on that journey. Or if they need more, we know how to refer out, because that's very important. We want people to be better by the time we finish. By the time it's time for them to release the book and the brand, we don't want them to feel beat down. We want them to feel released, encouraged, and ready to go.
Yeah. And you just brought another question. I gotta write this down because I had one more ahead that I wanted to get to before. Okay, so
Oh, that
brand,
is fine. That's fine.
book and brand. That's gonna jog my memory in a minute. But my question is on the opposite end of what I just asked. If someone
Mhm.
comes and they are needing that direction and they don't know exactly how to articulate, that's one thing. But if someone comes to you and says, hey, I got my book all written and I just need you to help me put a bow on it.
Yes.
Have you experienced clients who maybe were not as receptive to suggestions for change to the book or enhancements that would help the book sell based on your experience and what you know as a publisher? Have you had resistance from clients?
Um, I've been in sales for 25 years, so I'm quite a professional on resistance. I don't have it a lot in publishing, because people know when they come to me, I have an expertise in what we're doing. We've been doing this now for 8 years, going on 9 years. We know exactly what's going to sell and what is going to draw a reader in, and then what is going to keep your book from coming off the shelves. And so we really want to make sure that even if you finish your manuscript, and I know how that is because this is your baby, you're birthing this, you put your heart and your sweat and tears and blood into it. So we want to make sure that it reflects you in the best way. And so I think it's all in how you approach that. If whenever we give suggestions, we're giving them for the benefit of the client. And when they can see that, hey, this is going to benefit you, this is going to benefit your brand, this is going to benefit your profitability, because our company, our focus is to maximize every client's profitability once they leave. So we want to make sure that whatever you develop is maximizing your profitability. So when you say that, they're like, I'm all ears. Okay, tell me what I need to change. So I think there's a way to really usher them through those changes, but we have such skilled editors that really do a great job of helping with that and making it a collaborative process.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I know that I've always been a journaler, and I remember 5th grade when my mother gave me my first little diary with the little lock and key on it.
Yes,
she felt like I needed a place to release, and she started a trend. I always kept a journal, always. And now it's electronic. I just type in on my phone, but I need it. And it did turn into the beginnings of a book a few years ago when I was 40. Wow. I've been writing this book for 9 years. Every once in a while, I'll pull it out and add a little when I'm inspired. So when you say it's a baby, it really is, because you are pouring yourself in over time and watching it develop. But this is the question that came to mind when you were talking about book and brand.
Yes.
I think it takes some time, a lot of years sometimes, for people to write a book because they are being inspired over their life experiences. They may know in the beginning, hey, I need to write a book. I want to make sure that people know my story, but their story is still unfolding. So as time goes by, and if they are a journaler, they're going to be figuring out things that need to be added to that book, and it might change the storyline a little bit or whatever, but it's evolving and it's gestating, if that's the right word. I want to know, I'm an entrepreneur, so I know that my mantra and who I am and my brand has evolved, especially in these last 9 years of my 40s. I know more about myself, and the business was born in my 40s. So I would have to factor my book into, my business and my brand into my book at this stage, if I'm going to be talking about entrepreneurship as part of my life in my book.
Yep.
So let's talk about that. How would I factor in my brand at this stage? Because at this point, it's mostly about my life, things that happened to Tiffany.
Yes, yes. Well, that's a good question. And I'll give you a little bit, and then I'm going to tell everybody that we can give you all a consultation and you through it.
Pull that
See, she's trying to get a free consultation, y'all. But no, seriously, let's go back, because I want to make something very clear to everyone, because a lot of times there is this conception that I got to hold on to my book until everything's happened to me, or every year I'm growing. I want to debunk that, because what you want to do is get that first book out. You've lived enough life, and you're going to end up with multiple books. You are a serial entrepreneur, and you're going to be a serial author. So what we tell people is, let's go ahead and get the book out where you are, especially if you're building a brand. And then as you evolve, you'll have another book, because we want to build multiple products for you. You'll have books, journals, ebooks, courses, all types of things, but you're building those. And as you evolve, you're adding to that. Your story continues as you build your business, and you can continue to create those products. But you can get that first book out even if you haven't written anything in 90 days. We can finish that. So I get so many clients that come and they be like, I've been reading this for years, and you're going to finish this in 90 days? Absolutely. Because we got to release. And sometimes we hold on to everything and thinking that we're holding on to it for it to be perfect, or for us to know when it's supposed to end.
Hold on, doctor. You're going into the therapy zone.
There is no end to this journey until we close our eyes and go to glory. So you want to give them what you have thus far, because your entrepreneurial journey has already, there's a wealth of things Tiffany has been through and a wealth of things that other people need to hear. There are a lot of new entrepreneurs that they need the nuggets that you've already overcome, those hurdles that you've already seen in entrepreneurship, and you've been able to kind of get over those hurdles and get to the next level. We got to give them that part first. And then as you grow and expand, we get to that book number 2. And that's the next version of it. But, you know, incorporating your entrepreneurship and your business with your life is very, very easy to do. And I think that's what makes for a good book, because you're not just an impact or authority book. You're not just telling them how, but you're merging the how with your life. And you're really sharing with them the examples that you give are examples from where you walked and from where you came from and the journey that you've been on. And so we show you how to pull your life story into the book, Sharing Your Brand. So we're going to talk about your entrepreneurial journey, but we're also going to talk about you, because that makes you relatable to your clients. The goal is that somebody's going to pick up your book and they're going to say, I want to work with Tiffany. I want to be a part of everything she's doing. I love what she's been through. Her tenacity relates to what I've been through in life, and I want to be a part of everything she's doing. So they're going to become a part right now. And then the next book, you're going to have a whole different audience that you're pulling in, because you're going to be at a different place. And you're going to be pulling in clients and readers that are at a different place in their business, and they need something different. But you, I would say for you, 9 years is good. Let's go ahead and get that out.
I tell you what, okay, we're going to take a break, because I need to, you know, that little piece of therapy, I need to process it. Give me a minute. And when you come back, let's talk a little bit more about coaching. Okay. So we've talked about branding. We've talked about the value of storytelling. I want to go into coaching. And while you're backstage, be thinking about mindset. Okay. And when it comes to the authors that you're building, what type of mindset are you trying to instill in them and encourage them to maintain? Okay. So going backstage, and we will be back in just a moment. All right, you guys, you know I love to promote, support, repeat. So I'm going to show you another sponsor. I just met Miss Roxanne Engstrom at the Rotary Club of Nightdale Who's Who in Business event last month. And we quickly related to one another. Of course, she is into brand storytelling. I am into brand storytelling. It was just a natural connection that was made. So I am happy to share with you this information about her business. It's called Hawa Images Brand Storytelling Sessions. She's a visual storyteller focusing on human emotion and connection. She helps families, individuals, and couples to share their beautiful, messy stories. That resonated with me. She also partners with humanitarian, non-for-profit or not-for-profit organizations and individuals building their brands so they can share stories with intention, dignity, and excellence, so they have a greater impact in their communities. We all know the impact of a great story. We're going to keep talking about that with Dr. Green. But if you would like to learn more about Hawa Images, you can certainly reach out to her with this information on the screen. Her phone number is here, 773-680-9265. And her website is hawaimages.com, HAWA images.com. She's on Instagram and Facebook, and you can reach out whenever you like. All right, so let's go back and talk to Dr. Green some more. Bring you back, ma'am.
Hello.
Okay, now, mindset.
Yes.
What kind of mindset should authors have and maintain?
Well, that's an interesting question. So I think it's different for authors and then entrepreneurs who are really in that consulting and coaching realm. So for anyone who's coming in to write their book, or they're in the mindset of writing their book, you have to stay in that mindset of your purpose. What is your purpose? And then what is the purpose for your readers? I tell everybody, before you start to write, I want you to write down who this book is serving. Who do you want to read this? Who is this going to serve? Who will have aha moments for the book? Who can you see picking it up and not wanting to put it down? That this might bring some tears. This might bring some revelations to them, this might help them to push forward. So you've got to have a mindset as you're writing on how this book is going to serve your readers. Not so much you, because you've already lived it and you're getting it out, but how will it impact them? How will they hold on to it and not want to put it down? You know, if you think about them throughout each and every page, what you put on those pages is going to be transparent. It's going to be real. It's going to be authentic. So, you know, keeping that mindset as a reader is so important. And then, you know, as a business owner, so for those business owners that are coming and we're writing their impact books, or we're building out their consulting brands, their coaching brands, you know, one of the things that we're thinking there is a purpose-driven mindset. What is your purpose? Who are you called to? Let's really make sure that everything in your brand is consistent with those that you're going to serve. So you really have to have that mindset of, who am I serving? Or who am I writing the book for, to really, you know, make sure that everything that you're sharing is going to be impactful. And that's one of my favorite words in what we do, is we got to have an impact.
Yes, that well, as a business analyst, I'm thinking end user. Always have to keep the end user in mind. As a writer, as a publisher, we have to keep the target audience, literally the target audience in mind. So when it comes to writer's block, I would imagine revisiting that target audience would bring you back, you know, to flow, to get that story going again. What would you say is the advice you give when someone gets writer's block?
It can be different, but yes, revisiting the audience can help. Walking away, taking a break from your writing sometimes, and allowing yourself to kind of shift your mental space can help. I always say that you got to write in chunks. So, you know, carving out specific time to write, and then, you know, putting that away for a while and then coming back to it allows you to refresh and renew yourself, and to not fall into those blocks. But because we're coaching our authors through the entire process, those coaches are helping them kind of pulling them out, or preventing them from even getting writer's block, because we want to make sure that we're able to get their stories out in the easiest way possible. And there are techniques that you can use when you're writing or recording your story that can help you to get it out very efficiently without ever having a hesitancy or a writer's block.
And that's for a consultation, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I want to know what your position is on spiritual work and marketplace ministry. Well, secular work and spiritual work. How do you balance these two things? And what does marketplace ministry mean to you?
Great question. I talked about this on a prayer call on Monday. But I have been in corporate America for a long time. I've also been working in the marketplace. I have a nonprofit. We work with single mothers and their children. I'm always giving and serving. And I think that that is relevant even in your business. Who you are doesn't change because of where you are. So I'll be the first to say I was a VP in corporate America and I was still praying for people. But I think that, you know, it is important that, number one, we are praying and we covering our business. It is very important that we're covering our business and that we know that we are focused on those who we're called to serve. So I think that it goes hand in hand, because even though you're in business, it's not, this is how I live now. It's not my business, it's his business. So I'm going to serve those that he calls me to serve. And, you know, as long as I'm doing that, the profits are coming, the business is still successful. But I'm very focused on that combination of I walk for Christ. So my entire life is surrounded by that, whether it's business or it's spiritual. And in the marketplace, we are called to serve. So, you know, my opinion on that is, even in business, there are times that you're going to be called to serve. And what I mean by that is you're going to be mentoring people. There are some people that you're going to give services to and you're not going to charge them. there are times that you're going to know that you are called to serve this person, and you've got to be open to that, because there's so many blessings that are missed because a lot of people are thinking money versus service. But if you combine them, that's where the magic happens. That's where the growth happens, and you start to see things are synergistic. So, you know, I believe that my business is a marketplace ministry. I believe that a lot of the things that I'm doing in serving entrepreneurs in my business impacts the marketplace. And then I take my business and I create ways to serve my community. So SHERO Enterprises is 3 arms. We are SHERO Consulting, where we work with business owners who want to develop their brands. They want to build a coaching brand. They want to build a consulting brand. We help them to do the entire brand. We build the entire thing out for them. But we're also SHERO Publishing, where we help authors to share their stories. And then the last part, which I don't think it's on this slide, but it's my baby, is SHERO Gives. For the last years, I have had a nonprofit that is SHERO. It used to be Sisters Lifting Sisters. It's SHERO Gives. We have been serving women and children for over 7 years now. Thousands of women and children in North Carolina. We are partnered with a lot of the homeless shelters in Raleigh. In the Chapel Hill area, we've been partnered with women's rehabilitation centers. We are constantly giving back. And so I would challenge you that whatever your business is, find a way to serve, because your business should impact the community. And that is marketplace ministry.
Yes, yes. So do you know the website offhand so I can pop that in our marquee? I want to make sure people know how to.
It's all under SHEROenterprises.com. You will see link for everything right under that umbrella. So if they go to SHEROenterprises.com, you'll see all of it.
Okay. I tell you what else they're going to see when they get over there. SHERO Launch Conference. Yeah. Okay, let me turn this one on.
Yes. We are so excited about SHERO Launch Conference. It is next Saturday. It is right here in the Raleigh area at the Hilton Doubletree off Highwoods Boulevard. It is a conference for business owners, for nonprofit owners, for marketplace leaders. This is a conference to really bring all the resources and tools into one room. So that if you have a business or you have a nonprofit and you're thinking, you know what, I need a trademark attorney, I need a branding consultant, you know, I really need a mentor, I need a coach, I need a brand coach or someone who can help me move my brand. I need to know how to get grants. Everyone is going to be in the room to serve you, to connect with you, to help you move you to the next level. I really believe in, and I say I'm a conduit. I know everyone, but I want to bring everyone together so that they can bless each and every attendee that's in that room and help you to propel in your business. So if you are an entrepreneur or you are a leader and there is something you need from professional development to support from another leader to resources to grow and brand your business, get in the room. You can actually purchase your ticket from SHEROenterprises.com. Just go right to SHERO Conference and you will see the conference. You can purchase your ticket. We would love to have each and every one of you there.
Okay, and I have to just say this, I can already feel the spirit of it all. Just looking at the faces in this grid, I know Kimberly Winborn, I know Sandra Hardy, I know Dr. Erica Green, and I already know that everybody else in these blocks are going to be dynamic, powerful women. You have created a very powerful platform here. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Okay.
We are excited. I'm excited for each and every one of our attendees and what's to come for them. So this is definitely a networking, but a launch platform. And that's why we call it the launch conference. From this conference, people are going to launch all types of things, but they're going to have the resources to accelerate their launch and to get those things moving quickly.
Yes, get the show on the road. So I'm excited to speak. I'm excited to speak about the mentorship. And I don't know if you know about my Tales of Friendpreneurship. A Tale of Friendpreneurship is a personal testimony about how a connection was made, a meaningful connection was made, and business elevated because of it. I get to tell that part as part of my presentation, and I'm excited about it. So I'm just Looking
excited
forward
as
to all of
well.
it.
Yes, yes.
Whew.
And I think, Tiffany, to your point, that is so important because mentorship
Yes.
is so critical to advancement in entrepreneurship. And I think it's one of the things sometimes in our desperation to keep all the balls moving, especially when we're solopreneurs, that we just
Mhm.
overlook. But that mentorship and accountability can help propel you so quickly. And it opens doors for new connections because most mentors, they have a Rolodex that can
Mhm.
help move you forward. And
Mhm.
so if you don't have a mentor, to Tiffany's point, I would highly recommend that you start locking arms with some solid mentors or come to the conference. How about you do that? Come to
How
the
about that?
conference and you'll walk away with a mentor.
Yes, yes. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna send you backstage one more time. And when
Okay.
you come back, I want you to have final words for friendpreneurs, something you want to leave them with that they will not forget as they go to sleep tonight.
All
Okay?
right.
All right, be right back. All right, you guys, we have had a wonderful conversation with Dr. Green. I want to share one more thing with you because we have another podcast coming up on Sunday. Now, Hope Lenore is our next guest, and she will be talking with us about aligning professional and spiritual purpose. She's the founder and author of Rise and Fly. She's a career consultant and award-winning author. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to talk with her. And you'll probably see a running theme through these podcasts because, like we were just talking about with Dr. Green, work, secular work, and spiritual work are synonymous for friendpreneurship for sure. So if you're gonna listen to our podcast, just know that's probably going to come up in each one. So I'm excited to talk to Hope Sunday at 7 p.m. live on Facebook. So come back and join us. All right, let's get some final words from Dr. Green. What you got?
All right. Listen, everyone has a story. You have a story in you that needs to be birthed. You have a story in you that others need to hear. Whether you are an entrepreneur or you're a professional in corporate America, or you're working and you're thinking, you know what? I've been writing in my journals, in my notebook. I've been pulling things out. I have visions. Don't be afraid to get your story out. There are so many times that we hear defeating things. Oh, your story is not big enough. Oh, you haven't done anything that important. Oh, no one wants to hear it. I promise you, there are millions and millions of people around the world, and there are people who will relate to what you've been through. And
Mm-hmm.
they need to hear how you overcame so that they can continue to push through. So never be afraid to tell your story, whether it's in a book, or it's on social media, or it's reaching out to someone and telling a testimony. Share your story. Your story has power. And if you're a business owner, your story can elevate your brand and it can get you to the next level. If you're looking for ways that are inexpensive, if you're thinking, I don't want to do ads, but I want a way to hit more people, then think about creating your impact and authority book and leveraging that as a lead magnet to reach millions and millions of people who need to hear about your business and how you serve others. So step out and share your story and watch the blessings flow.
Mm-hmm. You almost got me convinced, Miss Erica. I'm coming up on 50 in May.
Listen, that could be your birthday celebration. We gotta let that 9-year book go. It's time
Woo!
to get it out.
Nice. It's time. It's time. Well, thank you so much for your time this evening. Oh, one last announcement. So we have a series, Ask a Friendpreneur. This is a virtual sip and share meetup. Now, Dr. Green is going to be our October 7th Friendpreneur in the room. She's going to be answering questions, all things entrepreneurship, business, but we're also going to get to ask questions concerning the branding and more about publishing. We're going to get to go a little bit deeper with some personal questions. So I'm excited about that. Mark your calendars, October 7th. And this is yet another one of the benefits of being a BFF in the Friendpreneur fam. So thank you, BFF. Have a
Thank
great
you. I'm
evening.
excited.
Okay, we will talk later. Enjoy your night.
All right. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.